Hey there, my name's Drew Brashler, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the aux remap on the Behringer X32 and what it is and how to utilize it. If you're brand new to my channel, I'm all about helping you feel more confident in your production gear no matter where you're starting from. So let's go ahead and dive in. Now, it is called the aux remap, and if we want to find it, we can go to our routing and we can see that it's right here, our aux in. Now, if we have an older version of the software, it would be called aux remap, as well as in the X32 edit software, it would also be called aux remap. And in this will allow us to choose different sources for our auxiliary channels 1 through 6. So we can see that we have our 6 aux channels here. And if we have this selected on aux ins, that is going to source these channels audio from our TRS inputs on the back of the board. So that would be our 6 TRS inputs on 1 through 6. Those are balanced or unbalanced quarter-inch TRS inputs, as well as on 5 and 6, there is an RCA jack on aux 5 and aux 6. Now, what if you wanted to utilize, say, a AES50 input for our aux channels? For instance, if you had your media playback computer and that was sitting in a different portion of your building, you could simply run a AES50 line from the back of your board over to that and then plug in all of those inputs into 1 through 6 on that stage box and then utilize the AES50 snake to get it to your board. Now, to do this, what we can do is we can go to routing, and on our aux in, we can go and select our AES50A or our AES50B. Now, we have 3 different options. We have 1 and 2, 1 through 4, and 1 through 6. If I select 1 through 6 from AES50A, we can then go and look at our inputs right here, and my aux 1 through 6 say A1 through 6. Now, this means that it is getting its audio from AES50A port 1 through 6 on these channels. Now, if I go and select AES50A 1 through 4, that will have my AES50A coming in on my aux 1 through 4, but leave my aux 5 and 6 as the standard aux in TRS or RCA jacks in the case of 5 and 6 available to us. So if I was only needing 4 remote channels and then 2 channels directly in on the back of the X32 locally, we can do this that way. If I go and select AES50A 1 through 2, it's only going to select my AES50 on 1 and 2, but leave my 3 through 6 coming from the aux ins. Now, additionally, there are some people that like to do this with the card. So they will use the USB connection on the back of the board and plug that into their computer. And maybe they have stream from like a Zoom call coming in and playing that into the board. Well, we can then go and select card 1 through 2, which now we have our card 1 and 2 playing on aux 1 and 2 here, but our aux 3 through 6 is still available to be plugged in on the back of the aux inputs. Additionally, if we maybe had a Trax computer plugged into the USB card, we could go and select card 1 through 6. And now we have all of those card 1 through 6 inputs into the board coming in on our aux channels. One useful thing of utilizing the aux section, especially if you have a smaller version of the X32, say a rack or a compact, is you will typically have a stage box sitting up on stage. So for instance, we have AES50A 1 through 16. There's our 16 inputs, and maybe we have AES50B for another S16 coming in on that. So we have our 1 through 6 coming in from A and our 17 through 32 coming in from our B inputs. Well, we still have local XLR inputs on the back of our board, which we can use for our aux ins. So one thing that we can do is we can go select local 1 through 6. Now all of these 6 inputs for my aux channels are the physical XLRs, which by utilizing our local inputs, we have the ability of getting 48 volts for active DI boxes or different things, as well as our expanded preamp gain available to us by using the XLRs rather than the TRS, which are line level. Now, the very last thing is, what if I want to have one of my inputs on my auxes from a different input than 1 through 6. You'll notice that all of these selections give us 1 through 6 as our aux in sources. Well, we can then go to our user inputs to get any other channel into these aux ins. So we can go user in 1 through 6. And once we've done this, I can then go navigate all the way over to user, and we have our inputs 1 through 6 here. Now 7 and 8 aren't going to do anything because they are only for aux 1 through 6, and that's on user input 1 through 6. So user in, we'll notice that this says off right here. Actually, all of these say off because there's nothing routed to them. So maybe my AES50B, I have a second stage box plugged in, and I'm wanting to pull in aux my channel 17 from my AES50B on my aux1. And then on my aux3, I have this coming in from AES50A17. Okay, I overwrote the wrong thing there. There we go, B17, and then we'll go up to the A and get this on A17. So now we can see that on my aux1, if I go and select this, we have this coming in from AES50B17, and then my aux2 is coming in from AES50A17. And then we could likewise go on my aux3 and go back over to my user input routing and have this maybe on our local in 12. So with the user routing, we can do specific routing one-to-one to these inputs. And if I'm not utilizing all of the inputs, I don't have to pull up my user 1 through 6. I could do user 1 and 2 or user 1 through 4, and then leave some of the rest of that user patching for use on the console elsewhere. Now, I hope this video is helpful for you. I really love using this aux remap, especially if I have 32 channels of stage boxes up on stage through my AES50, because then I have my local XLRs that I can still use as inputs for those aux 1 through 6 channels. So this is something that I do all the time, especially by keeping my wireless microphones in front of me, having those plug into the local XLRs, and then having all my stage inputs up on stage with the AES50 snake. If you do happen to have any questions, please post that in the comment section down below. Also, if there's a video that you're hoping that I would make on the X32 or really any of the production mixers that are out there, please put that in the comment section down below, as I'm always looking for videos that are going to be helpful for you. If you haven't already, make sure to check out my website at drewbrashler.com. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day and Merry Christmas soon.